What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. I'm Corey, and this is Apple Knows. So let's get started and see what Apple knows this week. Are you getting bored with iOS 4? According to TechCrunch, Apple will hold off on unveiling the next iteration of iOS, version 5, until this fall instead of releasing it in summer as in years past. If TechCrunch sources are correct, the iPhone 5 is still likely to debut in summer, but will be running a flavor of the current iOS 4. The good news, however, is that TechCrunch sources say that iOS 5 will be a major revamp of iOS and is said to include a heavy cloud-based iOS with several new services, a music locker service to coincide with the introduction of new iPods, a location service that helps you find friends and family. Until Apple makes an announcement about iOS 5, nothing is certain. But if TechCrunch sources are right about the music locker service, it would make sense to hold iOS 5 until fall when new iPods are traditionally launched. The extended timeline would give Apple more resources towards OS X 10.7 Lion, which is said to be released this summer. Talking about the next flavor of iOS, iOS 4.3.1 was updated this week for the iPhone, the iPad, and the iPod Touch. Full description of devices in the description. The newest update fixes some glitches, some flickering, and some bugs, so you can go grab the newest update by plugging your device into iTunes. TechCrunch also reports this week that Apple is set to deploy a Gold Master release of Mac OS X 10.7 Lion in the near future. It's been just over a month since Apple released the Lion developer preview. A Gold Master is usually sent out to be mass-produced on DVDs or CDs or digitally, but in Apple's case, this version is going to G1, which means that they're going to be fixing bug issues and compatibility issues. Mac OS X 10.7 Lion is said to be released this summer. Mac Rumors is reporting that Apple has no plans to discontinue the iPod Classic, which has not been updated since September 2009. Music enthusiasts still love the more than double the size storage of the largest 64GB iPod Touch. A concerned iPod Classic owner emailed Steve Jobs saying, "Please don't discontinue the iPod Classic," and Steve Jobs himself replied to this email saying, "We have no plans to." A cool fact to end this week's Apple Knows: did you know that the iPad 2 glass display is 27% thinner than the iPad 1's? So you would think that the iPad 2 screen is thinner, so it must be more fragile, right? Well, not actually. iFixYourEye.com tested out both screens and found out that the iPad 2 screen is actually tougher. How is this possible? Apparently, it's because the iPad 2 has more give than the iPad 1. When these panels break, it is because it cannot withstand the pressure being applied to them. So the more flexible the display, the more pressure can withstand, making it stronger. Cool, right? That's all for Apple Knows this week. I'm Corey, and check back next week to see what else Apple knows, and I'll see you guys in my upcoming videos. Bye-bye.